Boost your YouTube. Tip 1. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. And today we're going to be discussing how to boost your YouTube views. And this is part of a series. This is the first one out of the series. And what I'm holding here is my wife's old iPhone that happens to have a picture of my currently sixth most popular video on this channel. We've been doing this show almost 700 episodes, well over 600 episodes that we've put out. And during that time, along with a handful of videos from years past, I've kind of accumulated a handful of videos that have stood out and have gotten some attention. This particular one is kind of interesting, and I've got a link in the description to this one. This is called Dan Kennedy Life Changer. So why would this one be the sixth most popular one on my site? And I'm not by far, in no means a huge numbers. We're not talking about that. You go and look at the popularity on YouTube at this point. It's not very high. But in comparison to all the other videos that I have out there, it's a relatively higher. So what would make this one roll? It's not that far. It's not that tough to really see why this one has done well, because it doesn't do as well now as it did when it first came out. So and I forgot to look at the date, so this was a year ago. So last year, there was a situation where Dan Kennedy was thought to be on his final days. Okay, he was being put into hospice, he had gone into diabetic shock and all this stuff. People thought he was going to die. And many people had already speculated that they thought he was already dead. And this was it was probably within the 24-hour period just after this broke that I put out this video, because it hit me really hard. And I put a very impassioned, basically testimonial to Dan Kennedy and his life and how it had touched me. And you can go and watch it. It doesn't matter as much now because Dan Kennedy survived. He ended up getting out of hospice and has gone on, and he's slowly worked his way back to health. But this was well over a year ago, close to 2 years ago, I think, because you can see I'm still in the Orange Office. And for those of you who are old viewers, you remember the Orange Office, and who have been there for a while. This was a fun video to make, but I'll tell you why it did so well. Why it did so well is this was fresh news, and I was one of the first ones to start talking about it out there. So when it started hitting, people were doing searches. They were doing searches for Dan Kennedy on YouTube. They were doing searches for Dan Kennedy, is he still alive? And I think the fact that I called it Life Changer accidentally, I think the life word ended up pulling some rank, because people were wondering whether he's alive or whether he's dead, and is he still alive, and so on and so forth. And that happened for really the next 6 months, but right away got a huge bump in views on that one video. And because of that, it continues to get views over time. Every month it gets a handful of views, and so that's why that one did so well. So if you're able to take that idea, if you're putting out videos on a regular basis and you want to get some attention, then this does not only have to do with YouTube. I'm using YouTube as an example. Get something newsworthy. Get something that everybody is talking about, thinking about, and typing in. And if you're able to do that in the right time, and you're just in the right space, you might be able to catch a little bit of virality off of that video. You might be able to get some more attention. Not that I did it for that purpose, but because I did it, I can see in retrospect how well it did. And I've had a handful of videos that have done well because you're entering the conversation that's already going on in the customer's mind or in the viewer's mind in this situation. So we've got more. I'm going to go through the rest of some of my highest watched videos and kind of guess based on that how well they did. It's not as much a guess. These are pretty straightforward why they've done so well. Probably my top video is one of the ones I'm wondering the most about, and we're going to work our way up to that one. This is number 1. Tomorrow we're going to go over number 2. Before we do that, though, if you haven't got your own free copy of 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business, yeah, you can go and purchase a hard copy off Amazon.com, or you can get a free copy at AmazonProofBook.com. That's AmazonProofBook.com. That's the 9 ways to Amazon proof your business. It's all about how to make your business stand out, you and your business. Or even if you're not doing business, if you're running a nonprofit, if you are just trying to get your personality out there, go check it out, AmazonProofBook.com. We'll be back here tomorrow with number 2 in this list, and you have a great night. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.